Okay, let's first set up our margins and columns. So click on Layout, Margins and Columns, and it'll default to 0.5 inches. And there will be the symbol here. This is a lock symbol, meaning if I change this to 0.25, they will all change to 0.25. If you ever need different margins, different top, you want the top and bottom 0.5 and you want the outside 0.25 or something, you can disable that lock, and now you can enter individual values for each of these. However, keep this enabled. Type in 0.25. Now hit the tab key and they will all be 0.25 all the way around. For the columns, hit the up arrow and set it to 2 columns. In the gutter, this is the width between the columns, and that's fine. So click OK. Before we proceed, make sure you're in View, Screen Mode, Normal. Okay, 99% of the time you should be in View, Screen Mode, Normal. The other thing I want you to do is, let me do this first. Okay, click on Type and click on Show Hidden Characters. So Show Hidden Characters should be enabled. And then after I hit Show Hidden Characters, it'll say Hide Hidden Characters, which is kind of stupid to me, but anyway. Show Hidden Characters is enabled. The first thing we're going to do is draw a text box, a thin text box across the top here to put in our title. So enable the Type tool, click, hold, and drag, and draw a text box, a narrow one that goes across the 2 columns, not across the entire white pages, but across the columns from column to column. And I'm going to zoom in here. Now when I move this text box up and down, you see on the left the ruler is, this is at the 1 inch mark, the ruler's at the 2 inch mark. Well, I want it at the 1 inch mark, and I want it to go from column to column. Now I intentionally messed something up here. So like I wanted this to span to this column here, but I didn't. So to fix that, I'll hit the black arrow, get the bounding box, and I'll pull this over. And so if you mess this up, you can adjust, the width of the column this way. So I want it at the 1 inch mark. Enable the Type tool and type in these words: InDesign File Setup Exercise. Hit the return key and then type in by and then your name. Alrighty. Double click on the first line, come over to the Properties tab, and set the point size at 24. Double click on the second line to select it, come over to the Properties tab and set that to 18 points. Now if you notice the E in exercise is going across the column, I don't want that. Double click on this, and I'm going to show you something new. Come over to the Properties tab. This property right here, indicated by this symbol with the double arrows, this is tracking. Tracking is setting the width between 3 or more letter forms. So it defaults to 0. I'm going to click on this down arrow to set this to -10. I'm going to back up to show you what happens. So if I click this to -10, there, now this line fits nice and neat within that column. So you can, with tracking, you could track things way out, or you can track things way in. And that's a really important thing to know when you're going to do copy fitting, which we'll revisit that more later in the course when we talk about typography. Save your file, Command S or Control S. Make a new text box and just draw it within the first column here. Not across the entire thing, but just in the first column. Now I want this text box I just drew to butt up against the first text box. Enable the black arrow and grab the top bounding box, and just so they're exactly right next to each other. Enable the Type tool and get the flashing cursor in the new column, or in the new text box. Now we're going to place type in here, and you're going to do this a whole bunch with InDesign in your career as a graphic designer. So we see the flashing cursor, we go to File, Place, Navigate. Let me expand this so we can see it better here. Navigate to your resources folder for this exercise. Choose the text file that was given to you and click open. And all the text fills up here. And if you look down at the bottom right, this faded red square, that indicates that there's text overflow. There's stuff here that, you know, we can't see. So we're going to make this text flow into column 2. And the way we do that is enable the type tool, draw a new text box over in column 2, and it doesn't have to be, we're going to move this around, it doesn't have to be exact, just anywhere, just draw a new text box. To get this text to flow into column 2, what we do is we enable the black arrow, hover over this faded red square at the lower right, click on it once, and it becomes a bright red square with a plus sign on it. Click on it again, and we get what's called a loaded cursor. Okay, you can see the text in there. Hover anywhere over text box 2, click once, and the text is flowed into there. And if you don't have to do this, but I can show you. If I move this up and down, the text is connected. This is flowing into this text here. Okay, so save your file, Command S or Control S, or File Save, and I'll see you in the next video.